Welcome to Whispers of the Web, where the hidden gems of the web come to life. Join us as we unravel the most fascinating tales, secrets, and discussions from across the web. Every whisper has a story. If you enjoy our journey through the whispers of the web, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the intrigue. Story number 1. Am I the a-hole for marrying my husband after my mother tried to ruin my marriage by getting pregnant with my husband's dad and engaged? I was advised to put the entire situation here as I'm still struggling to understand and figure out what to do. I apologize, it's long-winded, but I really need some advice or anything. I, 24 female, have been with my husband, 25 male, for over 10 years now, and we have twins aged 3. We got engaged a day before we found out I was pregnant. My father left my mother due to her constant cheating and bullying behavior, to which he remarried. My mother never remarried or had other children. The issues arose on my 16th birthday when I went to live with my dad due to emotional abuse from my mother. Things like my mother pushing for me to break up with my husband because she, in her own words, wanted him and he was the man for her, not me, because she said I was fat and ugly. I went very minimal or no contact until I found out I was pregnant, as I wanted my children to have a relationship with their grandmother, which would have been minimal. I found out she had been to therapy and counseling and assured myself she had changed too, which over time I believed she really had. This was the beginning of my nightmare. At the time I was 7 months pregnant, she decided, at my baby shower, to declare her love for my husband and demanded he get her pregnant, and I terminate my boys because she deserved my life and children rather than me. She even suggested if I didn't terminate, she could adopt it and pretend she was the mother and play happy families with my partner. We had no contact. However, I updated her that my boys were born healthy and happy, but I didn't send her a picture. Life moved on until my boy's first birthday, when she turned up and ran towards what she thought was my children. They weren't, screaming, "Hi, it's Grandma." We informed her she had no right to be here, and which she left. After a year of building trust and seeing the effort she put into changing, I started allowing her to come to the park with myself and my family just in case she pulled anything, which later progressed to things like lunches, soft plays, days out, etc. A week before I and my husband were meant to be flying out to get married, my mother told everyone she had a surprise. That's where she announced she was pregnant, which came as a big shock. Then she announced who the father was and that they were engaged. I was angry, hurt, disgusted, disrespected, and I busted out crying. She called me overdramatic, to which I shouldn't have said, but I did in front of everyone. "You destroyed my childhood with your constant cheating and abuse. You tried stealing my partner, staging that he sexually assaulted you after you tried forcing yourself on him to end our relationship. You told me to terminate your own grandchild because you said you deserved them and my partner, and now you've pulled this stunt." To which I walked out, and many followed to see if I was okay, which at that time I wasn't. Me and my husband talked about everything from start to now. We decided to get married and cut them completely out. We stayed at our wedding venue for 10 nights and did a week-long honeymoon with the boys and week without. However, as soon as we got back to a barrage of missed calls, voicemails, and messages from different numbers, which subsequently got blocked. Shortly after this, my mother turned up protesting that we split up and give our babies up for adoption, or hand them over, as we are horrible and don't deserve our boys, as we will be siblings and siblings shouldn't be having children. We are an incestuous family, and she'll be ringing CPS. That's when my usually calm, level-headed husband exploded, berated her and physically removed her from our property. We've been looking at moving before the twins are born, and we have the opportunity to move abroad via husband's work. However, we've been told this is a step too far, and what we've done is disgusting regarding my mother by my mother's side of the family, apart from my grandmother and aunt. Am I the a-hole for getting married and moving away from the crazy train? I am not usually completely shocked by a situation, but this is definitely one of them. You are not the a-hole and need to run as fast as you can away from the crazy train. You should look into getting some form of a protective order to ensure you are legally protected. Her threatening legal action against you and your family is frightening and not something to take lightly. I wish you all the best in cutting out those who are toxic and moving on in a healthy and happy way. Story number 2. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother I won't go to his second wedding unless he pays me, and spilling the tea to everyone when that started a fight? My brother got married in Jamaica 6 years ago. It cost me $2,300 to go for the week, plus a week off work unpaid. Not really a huge deal. I love my brother, and I wanted to be there for him. I had a great time and actually met the woman I'm currently dating there at the resort. So it's been 6 years and my sister-in-law is pregnant. It is a huge surprise because they were planning on waiting a while yet. Now they are planning another wedding. I asked him why and he said he wanted to renew their vows before the baby came. I said that was cool but that I would not be attending. I'm busy with work and my own life. He said he really wanted me there. I said no. He said it was important to him I be there. I said that I had already attended his wedding once and that was plenty. If he wanted me to go to his second wedding he would have to pay me for my time and for my trip home. I live and work in the Bay Area and our family is from Raleigh. He finally admitted that the first wedding was a sham. They basically got us all out there for a party. I told him to get screwed. My mom called me to tell me I was being a jerk not coming to the wedding. I said I would go if my brother covered my expenses. She said I was being ridiculous. I said he was being a narcissist if he thought 2 weddings were needed. She would not relent. She started bugging me and calling me out in our family Facebook group. I told her and my brother to leave me out of their goofy wedding plans. Everyone started dogpiling me about not being there for him. I reminded them that I was his best man at the first wedding. Nope, not good enough. I had to be there for this because family. I'm the only one who would have to take a flight for the wedding. I told everyone to leave me alone and actually muted the group to avoid any further discussion. They started calling me. I finally just started telling everyone that I wasn't going to go unless they paid not just for this wedding but my time at the previous one. That just pissed people off. So I told the truth. I said that the first wedding wasn't real, and that my brother was not really married, and that he was probably only getting married because our family trust excludes kids born out of wedlock. It's not a lot of money but it covers a full 4-year degree or provides a grant to start a business. We cannot live off the money forever or anything. So this started a huge fight since a bunch of people had been upset about a destination wedding the first time and lots could not afford to go. They felt excluded and made fun of. And now the people who did go are pissed they blew money on a party. And don't get me started on the gifts. So this has obviously caused a lot of stress for them. He called to yell at me for outing him. I said he was dumb for not just going to a justice of the peace quietly. He said his wife is hormonal and wants a real wedding. I don't think I need to go see a second wedding. Am I the a-hole? So your brother and his fiancée tricked all of you by pretending to get married 6 years ago. And now that they have told some people of this, they still expect everyone to come to the real wedding. His wife says that she wants a real wedding, but they had a real wedding, they just didn't sign the paperwork afterwards. That's all they need to do now. They don't need another wedding or to force their friends and family to pay for everything a second time. Your brother even tried to lie to you and say he was renewing his vows, when in reality they never signed the paperwork. You are not the a-hole here. And your brother and his wife are out of bounds thinking that you have any obligation to go to this wedding too. Story number 3. Am I wrong for being blindsided by a friend's birthday dinner costing me $1,100? Birthday dinner for a friend costs $540 per person. Me, 38 male, and my wife, 36 female, were invited to a major city to celebrate a friend's 40th. There were 2 days in the schedule, but we could only attend one because of my work schedule. We went to a fancy dinner and expected it to be over the top and expensive because it's their 40th birthday, and they have high-paying jobs and like to splurge. We met everyone at dinner at a fancy restaurant, and found out it was a family-style 6-course meal. When the check came, our friend's wife put it all on her card and we assumed the bill would be split up afterwards. We knew it would be expensive but were okay with it. Went out for drinks after, slept at our hotel, and drove back the next day. Today our friend's wife messages us that the total, minus tax and gratuity, split between the 13 of us, was $540 per person. We figured on the high end we'd spend maybe half that for both of us. We really thought more like $300 total for both of us based on the quality of the food. I'm pretty offended that it wasn't communicated ahead of time that this meal was going to be a freaking mortgage payment. What do I do here? Edit 1. We expect to spend a lot of money going out with these friends. We have gone out several times where an evening costs us $250 to $300 per couple, but never anything like $1,100 just for dinner. Edit 2. Thanks everyone for the comments. This got a much bigger response than I thought it would. I want to respond to some common comments here. We truly did not expect the host to pay for dinner. Based on previous events and dinners with this group, we expected to pay for our own meal and drinks. When the bill came, the host, birthday boy's wife, grabbed the bill and paid it with her card. We were surprised that it looked like she was paying. But now, a couple days later, she is sending out bills to the couples for their portion of an even split of the dinner. It was not discussed that there would be only one check for the group. Some of our other friends who came with us and were in on all the same communications leading up to this dinner were also completely surprised by the total amount of the meal. If it matters, they are very well off and still got sticker shock. This is validating for me because they've been with us in this group for many dinners with this couple and also did not expect this outcome. They got a bill for both nights that totaled just shy of $2,000 for food and drinks on tabs that were paid at the time by the host couple. For those saying we should have asked ahead of time, I guess this is where I get hung up. We were anticipating a range based on many meals with this group, including birthday dinners. Why would we reach out to the host and ask, "This isn't going to cost us more than $1,000, is it?" when every past experience was substantially lower, 60 to 70% less? We haven't asked for an itemized receipt yet, but looked up the cost of the family-style dinner per person. Based on what we ate and drank, our total would come to right around $700. To be honest, I would have been surprised by that amount, but we're being asked to pay $400 more than that, and I think, as many have pointed out, we are getting charged for others' wine choices. We will either just send that amount or ask for an itemized receipt, as many have recommended. I believe our next course is, as many have recommended, to pay for what we had and distance ourselves from these people or just never accept another invitation. Edit 3. My wife contacted the restaurant, and it turns out that there is a minimum per person charge that works out to $530 after tax and gratuity for reservations the size of our group. This is $200 per person more than we consumed, and the host never told us about it, even when contacting us for payment. Not the a-hole here at all. I understand that communication can be poor at times. When it comes to large amounts of money, in the hundreds of dollars, it's important to communicate any possible shock factors. I went to Las Vegas with my husband for a friend's 40th birthday for a week a year ago. For food and drinks, we didn't spend more than $1,600 combined for the entire week. And we went to the Bellagio for dinner one of those nights. I cannot even imagine spending over $500 on just one dinner experience, let alone being told of the expense many days later. I guess rich people are a different breed of people. Thank you for joining us for today's journey through the whispers of the web. Share your thoughts and suggestions for our next adventure. If you're not yet a part of our whispering community, click the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications to never miss out on another story. Join us next time as we uncover another enthralling tale from the web. Until our next whisper.